Winter is coming.
Woo! Winter cometh indeed, people. Get out your warm blankets, your hot chocolate, your mittens. We're going outside. Here comes wintertime. Today's video is an important video, but first off, introductions. This is Full Transparency Trading, hosted by Sebastian. I am your host, and today's topic is code spells. How to survive a code spell. Okay, I've got a list of tips and tricks, but first I want to discuss my own. So, not last week that just passed, but the prior week was probably my first time having a code spell since I actually started my day trading. And this is how it happened. How to survive a code spell. The market went on a crazy run, and it was kind of one that I've never seen in my limited expertise and experience of day trading. So I got burned a few times, trying to figure it out. I mean, my analysis wasn't incorrect by any means. So we'll get into that in just a second, what happens in that situation. But first, the first losing streak is inevitable. You have to understand that. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 trades lost. I'm talking about 5, 7, 11 trades in a row that you're dropping. Everyone's going to hit a code spell. I don't care what your level of expertise or your level of experience is. You're going to lose trades. That is step 1, point blank period. You have to figure that out before everything else. Once you figure out that you're going to lose trades, you'll be in a much better place overall. You simply have to look at the empirical evidence. Let me shrink myself down so we can get into the chart here. All right, and click. So you just got to look at the empirical evidence. It's simply the law of averages when you think about it. Most future events are likely to balance out previous deviations from a presumed average. And when I say a presumed average, I mean if trading is really 50-50 and you go on a streak of 11 straight wins, you're gonna balance out some of those wins with losses. You're not just gonna go on a winning streak and have that winning streak last forever. I don't care how good you are at analyzing. I don't care how good you are at risk management. I don't care how good you are at everything that comes with it. I don't care if you have every strategy known to man. You're going to lose trades. That doesn't mean that you're going to lose 50% of your trades. You may win 80% of your trades and lose 20% of your trades. But if those 20% of your trades are massive losses and those 80% of your trades are small wins, you can completely wipe out your account. And that is the goal of this video. The biggest thing that you have to understand is you are going to lose trades. Don't lose your account as a byproduct. So what's important? Okay, the first thing that I think is important is to stop trading. Number 1, stop trading. Cut out all trades unless you're doing paper trades. All of your physical in the market live trading, stop. Pause. Because you need to look at your past trades that you've done and see if that you've changed anything enormously, if you made any significant or substantial change that is causing you to lose those trades. That's step 1. Stop. I'd say step 2 is identifying that you are on a losing streak. Sometimes if you lose a couple of trades, you're just like, whatever, I got in too early, or whatever the case is. You may not instantly identify the fact that you're on a losing streak. But 2, these 5, 7, 11 trades didn't work out. Have I done anything substantially different? And that leads into 3. If not, and it's mainly, let's say, unforeseen conditions in the marketplace, be it news or whatever the case is, or earnings, maybe you're just unlucky that particular week for whatever reason, then that's fine. You would go to the reversion of the mean and you would continue the path and the way that you've been trading until you get yourself back on track. But you can stop and still go to paper trading until you see the market fall in your favor and get back to what you're used to. As a newer trader, there's a lot that I haven't seen, and that's all it comes down to. There's a lot that I haven't actually experienced in the market. These massive new highs and these, rocket up one week, down the next. I've never seen that before. When I came into the market, it was a slow burn that slowly gained fuel over time until we eventually got to that high. It was a continuation, a week in, a week out. We'd sit somewhere for a while, go up a little bit. We'd sit somewhere for a while, go down a little bit. We'd sit somewhere for a while, we'd go up a lot. And then all of a sudden, AI kicks in and the market goes boom. Then we get to last month, like halfway through October, and the market falls $20. And we're like, oh, we're going from 450 to 408. This is crazy over the last like couple of months. And then all of a sudden, we're right back to 450 and it's been 3 weeks. So it's really hard to exactly know as a new trader where this market is going, which will get me back to number 4. Don't feel too bad. Step away, run your trades back through on-demand trading. Like you click on-demand trading here. Click OK. Go to, for me, Solo Dolo. Open up your charts. Look at your trading information. Look at the trend that we were inside of for so long that we broke out of, and ran up like crazy. Go back through your trades on demand and see if you had proper trades, and then continue to retrade on demand or paper trading until you build your confidence back up. Which leads to step 5. Get back to the basics. Remember your fundamentals. Remember your fundamentals, Reversion to the mean. Continue your path and it will eventually correct the course naturally if you're using your proper trading techniques and fundamentals. Then number 6, if in fact you have made a mistake, this is important, or a poor change, tweak your process. Tweak your process while demo trading until you get back on track. And once you get back on track, maybe lower the amount that you were trading before until you can comfortably say that, hey, I'm back and I'm good. And then go on another hot streak, which is what I did the following week. I went from all of this eating me up and not understanding what was going on to right here and getting back on a hot streak and being like, hey, this is just where we're going right now. And then 7, and this is by far the most important one to me. It's okay. It's okay to lose. Okay? Just don't blow your account. And how you can do that is this. When you put money in your account, trade consistently until you get that money back, and then you've doubled that money. And once you've doubled that money, take your money out, which will instantly take out a lot of the emotional side that you have connected with your money. Because when you lose your money in the marketplace and it's money from your bank account, you start looking at your bank account and maybe looking at your bills and maybe looking at your expenses and going, dang, I could have used that $500 and I went and blew it in the marketplace. When in reality, if you built $1,000 over the period of like a couple of weeks or even a month, you can now take out your $500 that you put in there, put that back in your bank account, and now you're trading the market's money. And when you're trading the market's money, it's much closer to paper trading than it is live trading, because even though you're losing money, you don't feel that immense pressure that comes along with it being from your bank account. And then the list will go on. I mean, and to me, those are the most important parts. Was first, stopping the skid. When I realized that I was kind of skidding out of control, I think I lost $500, maybe $600 total over that many trades, and it was like getting kicked out. Okay, get back in, getting kicked out. Okay, when it's gonna stop? All of these lines and stuff that I had, all of these zones were completely disrespected. We're gonna zoom in so that you can see how it happened over the period of like no time really. We start here, 342. You're talking about $47. We ran up $47 in 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day, 7 day, 8 day, 9 day, 10 day, 11 day, 12 day, 13 days. We ran up $47 in 2 weeks. And in between there, we had these massive days that tricked you out of trades like, oh, we're going down. Psych. We pause right here. We're still above this. We're going down some more. Okay, fine. We gap up the next day. We start going down. So you're like, oh, this is a day where we're going down. Cool. Let me hop on that downtrend. Then boom, rockets off of there for the rest of the day. Going down, going up, starts going down, which is why it has this massive wick here. And then rockets all the way back up. So that's another loss. Then here we're like going up, it finally goes up or whatever, you get a good win that day. Here it's another choppy day. The next day you get a good win, but then it stops here. Maybe that's when you get in, and then all of a sudden you don't get a win. Choppy for an entire day, up some more, and then you're all the time, it's disrespecting your levels. All of my levels are getting broken through here, broken through here, broken through here. So now we're in a whole new place that I, as a new trader, have never seen before. I don't know where we're going. I don't know when we're going to stop. You know, I'm going back 6 months. I'm going back 3 years, and I can't find any data connected to this. And that was what was kicking my butt. I'm like looking back in time, and I'm like, 408? Is that where we're going? 408 from 2021, because 2022 was all down here. The last 6 months was all down here in the middle and then rocketed up. So now I start looking at 408 and I'm like, are we possibly going back to that 408 from 2021? And even in 2021, it was a massive run from 291 all the way up to 408 at the end of the year, which is insane. So now we come down here and we're at 259. And we ran all the way up to 389, so we might go to 408. I don't know. Right now we're, kind of consolidating a little bit. We broke out of the consolidation slightly, but we're kind of still consolidating. I drew this zone here to see we broke out of there. We finally broke out, and we're pushing up for the rest of the week. But like what goes up must come down. So eventually, this is December actually, there will have to be a point where this starts to come down. We can't just run up forever and not stop. That is a massive imbalance in the market. So we're coming down. The question is when, and until then, you have to understand that you just play the day that you're in. Trade the market you're in that day as best you can. If you can't find a trade, it's okay not to take a trade. And that was another thing. There were many days where I just didn't trade at all because I didn't know exactly what to do as far as when to get in or when to get out or what was a good play. So, and then I would miss a play, and that might have been the only play that was available for me that day. So then I had to just sit on the sidelines, watch my play happen, be mad about it, and move on to the next day. And then the next day think like, hey, maybe you get a continuation or reversal. It doesn't exactly go your way. Maybe you get into the trade too early. Maybe you get into the trade too late. You don't get a lot of profit. And that is another thing that you have to balance is when you're on a losing streak, just take a win. There'll be a lot of times where you have a $20 win, a $5 win, a $25, $50 win, and you're like, well, you're down, so now you're thinking in your head, you got to cover ground, so maybe this is a good trade. And a lot of times you're kind of hit a plateau where that $25 is it. That $50 is it. That $120 is all you're going to get from the market that day. And you have to pull the trigger. Do not sit and wait, especially if you're day trading, hours and hours and hours to see if you're gonna finally break out and go up or whatever. If you have your win, lock your win in, especially for my scalpers. Lock in that win, get the hell out of Dodge. If you're swinging, in which I lost, majority of my losses were swinging, I was swinging for week-long swings, and it just never entered the pattern. Like here, we're in the pattern. We never entered the pattern aggressively where we push back down there. We just stayed like the entire 3 weeks. We just pushed up. 1, 2, 3 weeks straight of pushing up. On the 4th week now, pushing up. So do we reach the 408? Don't know. We're pretty high on as far as everything goes all the way around when I open up my quad laser chart. QQQ way up, Microsoft way up, Meta way up. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Meta is way up to new highs. Microsoft is way up. Apple is getting back up to the high. They have Apple at $200 soon, so I think Apple will eventually make it back to that $200 mark. When, I'm not sure, but I think it does eventually make it back to the $200 mark. We're at 191 right now. Check out Tesla real quick. I want to see something on Tesla because Tesla was down bad for a little bit. Yeah, even Tesla is all the way back up from down here at 226 and 212 prior to that. So all of that October and September was completely wiped out over the last couple of weeks. Look at these massive jumps. Massive jumps, 231 to 236. So you're getting a lot of activity in the early morning, and then kind of in the afternoon, it gets a little shaky. It's up and it's down, and it's up and it's down, and you really got to time out when you get in. You're looking at 10:15 all the way up. 1020 all the way down. So you have to be very careful with your trading, because if you get in at 10 o'clock, which is normal, 10:10, see, 10 o'clock would have tricked me out, right? See, I'm going down. I'm like, boom, okay, cool. I'm going to trade that at 10 o'clock going to the downside. And then boom, 10:10 all the way back up. And then boom, 10:20 all the way back down. And then it starts wicking there again. So it's a difficult to trade time if you're a newer trader. It's where you really have to go back to your fundamentals and really just study the chart and find the right time to enter and be willing to take smaller amounts as long as you end up in profit. Again, this has been a full transparency trading video. I don't want this to run too long. Let me get off of on demand real quick. See, I'm negative $6 here, whatever. So I'm making sure that my losses are as small as possible. I see that it's not going my way, I get out. If it's not going my way and I get out of a trade and it starts going my way, I don't care. I just rather have that security that I didn't lose a lot than try to wait it out and then lose more money. Negative $6.16 is whatever. Negative 72 cents on the day. That's actually a swing that I have going on. I think my last poor trade was negative 130 on like 10 contracts or whatever the case is. So the larger your account goes, the more you're going to risk, obviously. So the more you stand to lose. But build your account up, take your money out of it. And once you take your money out of the equation, I promise you'll feel so much better when you start trading in the market, because you won't see it 100% as losing all of your own money. You will see it as losing money. It will be frustrating still, but you won't be losing money from your bank account. And then you continue by just stockpiling. You want to compile as many wins as possible, small wins, big wins, but you want to time it out so that when these big opportunities do come and they're available to make, you're able to make that trade. So you need to go ahead and continue to consume as many wins as possible, stockpile those wins, build your account up more and more and more, so that when you see these big trades coming, you're on the right side of that trade. Focus on your technical analysis, trust your technical analysis. I know it gets hard sometimes. I know it gets frustrating some days. This was actually a very frustrating week for me. This is one of those weeks where you're like, I think I'm gonna quit, right? And that is when you really gotta hone in on why you do it and who you are. You're doing this to build a better future for your family. You're doing this to build a better future for yourself. You're doing this so you can take those amazing vacations that you've always dreamed of. You're doing this so that you can pay your house note and your car note and all of those things. Why you're doing this is so important when you hit a cold streak to remember. I'm not going to quit because my goal is bigger than what I'm doing right now. I want to be great at this for reasons that have nothing to do with just myself or even my kids. I want to be able to spread the knowledge that I have far and wide, but first I have to obtain the knowledge. I have to take my lumps. I have to take these hits so that I can learn from them, so that I can pass this information on to people like you who might also be going through a cold streak. And if you're going through a cold streak, I pray that your cold streak ends swiftly and you get back in that burners. Like immediately after my cold streak ended, took a couple of days off of the trading, came back in when I was more confident, blazed another few trades. I feel really great about how I ended my week. But again, this has been a full transparency trading session. I'm sharing everything that I'm learning with you as I'm learning in real time. Really, I can't always make the videos live because I'm at the warehouse working and stuff like that. But every time I get a chance to put a video on here that I think is going to help somebody, I'm going to help you. If you have any questions, leave them in the Discord, leave them in the comments section. I'm going to read the comments and I'll come back and I'll try to answer them in the next video. Have a great day. Happy holidays. I hope everybody had a beautiful Thanksgiving. This is your kid Sebastian, and I'm out.